So let's jump into deal analysis. Now, the key thing about deal analysis is you have to understand what the return on investment is. Now, my intention with this webinar is to start just by showing you the basic formula for determining your return on investment. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go and look at 7 investors and their deals and analyze them together. And I'm going to, try and get all the investors onto the call so that they can share some of their insights with us. Obviously, there might be some technical difficulties or restraints. We might not be able to get everybody on the call, but we're going to do the best that we can. So, return on investment, the simple formula is you take your profit that you're going to get from the property transaction divided by the money you're investing into that, the money you taking out of your pocket, not the bank's money, not your investor's money, but only the money you've invested, times 100, and it will give you a percentage. Now, this percentage is what you're going to use to make a buying decision. So, let's use an example. Here is the buy and hold example. This is when you buy a property and you hold it for 5, 10, 15 years. You put a tenant in there, the tenant rents from you. So the profit in this case is your cash flow times 12. Now, cash flow is your monthly profit. Your income minus your expenses, whatever you left off with, that is your cash flow. So if you're making 12,000 Rand rent, your expenses, including your bond, your rates and taxes, everything on a monthly basis is 10,000. That means your cash flow is sitting at 2,000 Rand per month. Now, 2,000 times 12 equals 24,000 Rand. That's your annualized profit. That's what you're getting in terms of a profit at the end of the year. Now, your money in your deal, now this is remember the money you put in, not the money that the bank is loaning you or an investor is loaning you. Usually the money that fits into this category would be your deposits. So you'll put a 10% deposit down, the bank will give you a 90% loan. So you've got to put that deposit down. You've got transfer costs, things like your transfer duties, your bond registration costs, etc. And then maybe you'll have some renovations. So here I've just put some fictitious numbers to say that, let's assume that your deposit is 80,000, your transfer cost is 30,000, and your renovations is 90,000, meaning your total money that you have to put in is 200,000. So your return on investment is very simple. It's the 24,000, which is your profit, divided by your 200,000, which is the money you've put in, times 100 equals 12%. That is the return that you're getting for putting your money into that deal. If we use a buy and sell example, this is where you buy a property at a discount, you try and force the value of the property to go up, and you try and sell it for a much higher price. The difference between what you sell it for minus what you've bought it for and all your costs is your profit. So that's what I've said here. Number one, your profit is your selling price, what you can sell it for, minus your costs. And let's assume that you're making a profit of 50,000 Rand off your first deal. Then your second step is the money in the deal. So here again, your deposit, your transfer costs, your renovations. And then when you're doing the buy to sell strategy, you also have to look at your holding costs and your selling costs. Your holding costs are the costs associated to holding the property. So you might take 6 months to sell this property. You might take another 2 months to do the renovation. So that means you're holding the property effectively for 8 months. And during those 8 months, you have to pay levies, rates and taxes, insurance, bond repayments, etc. It's the costs of holding the property on a monthly basis. And then finally, your selling costs are the costs associated to selling the property, i.e. your estate agent is going to charge you a commission for selling the property. So again, I've just used some random numbers there. You can see 50,000 for your deposit, 30, 160, 20, and 40. That totals to 300,000. That means you have to put 300,000 Rand of your own money into the deal. Your return on investment is the 50,000 Rand divided by your money in the deal, which is the 300,000 Rand, times 100 gives you a return on investment of 16%. Now that return on investment, that number that you're seeing there, is what you can compare to the banks. If your bank is giving you, let's say, a 6 or 7% return, then you can compare that interest rate that you're receiving at the bank with the deal you're about to do. If, for example, in the buy to hold strategy, you can see we were getting a 12% return. That means if we take the money we had in the bank and we put it into that deal, we'll be doubling the rate at which our money is working for us. It's earning a 6% in the bank, but a 12% in the deal. It means we're getting double the money for the same amount of time. Now, that's very important because there's a lot of risk in property, and you need to make sure that the return warrants the risk. If, for example, there was another deal that was bringing you a 6% return and you were getting a 6% interest in the bank, I would say leave your money in the bank because there's no risk in the bank. But if the property can bring you a 10, 12, 15, 20, 25% return, it warrants the risk that you're willing to take. So that's a very, very important aspect. Fantastic. Guys, I know I raced through that, but I wanted to make sure that we're spending majority of the time going through deal analysis. You are welcome, of course, to share any questions that you have or post any comments in the chat bar. And at the end of the session, I will happily spend as much time as necessary to get you across the line and help you understand whatever concept that you might be missing. So let's jump into our app, which is the My Property app. This is the deal tool analysis. I highly recommend that you get in yourself registered with this, because this is the tool that I use, that Apollo uses, that some of the best investors in the world use to do their deal analysis. Okay, so I'm just going to register here. Oh man, why is it not doing that now? Okay, and my password. So let's sign in. Fantastic. So I'm going to go here to our first person who has given us a deal to analyze. Batubile, are you on the call at the moment? Let me just have a look here. Are you on the call at the moment? Let's see here. I'm not seeing you. Are you on the call? Okay, I'm going to then jump to somebody else. First, let's start with Simone. Where is Simone? Okay, so Simone, I'm going to invite you on screen. Please accept it, and I'm going to switch off your video, but it will allow you to do some audio and just tell us a little bit more about the deal. So you should see some sort of request coming through. If you could just accept that, and then let us know when you're officially on so that we can interact with you a bit. Now, just quickly, this deal that Simone has sent us is a buy-to-let / student accommodation in Brooklyn, Pretoria, Gauteng. Market price is 3 million, offer price of 2 million. And then she's given us details in terms of the refurbs, the monthly rental, the rates and taxes, the levies, and then her financing costs. So, Simone, are you there? Can you hear us?
Gosh, I see my face.
There we go. No worries. I'm just going to take your video off just because I don't want it to be too slow. Can you still hear me? Or have I think I've actually just removed you completely. Oopsie. I was just trying to switch off your video. Sorry, let me try that again. So I'm just going to invite you back on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cancel it like that. There we go. She's coming back on here, and I'm just going to toggle the video. There we go. Okay, so Simone, tell us about this deal.
Okay, so this is a deal that I found in Brooklyn, in Pretoria, within walking distance to the University of Pretoria.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a University of Pretoria student, so I understand the students, I understand the area.
Yeah.
And I actually stayed there as a student. And what Lefa and I have found is that we're trying to do rent-to-rents in the area. It's a really nice area for that. There's a lot of old people who don't want to sell their houses.
Cool.
But who do want to make money from it. So it's a really good opportunity for anyone interested. And I found this house. So I'm just wondering if it might be worth a buy-to-let. I think it's probably better for a flip.
This
but yeah, I'm not 100%
the student accommodation area. Is that the one you're talking about? Okay, so let's just run through the numbers. So what's the asking price for this one?
It's 2.1 million.
2.1 million. Okay, and your offer price? What are you thinking would work?
I'm thinking 1.9.
1.9. Okay, so the discount you're looking for is 9.5. That should be achievable. What kind of rental could you expect in that area?
We're looking at about 4,000 Rand minimum, I'd say, for a student for a single room, sharing their bathrooms and kitchens with everyone else. And they've got 4 of those rooms as well as another study. So it can definitely be a 5-bedroom.
Okay.
And I worked it out to about 24,000 as a rent, as about a minimum, yeah.
Okay, cool. So then we're going to go to the second step, which is our buying costs. I'm just going to click here, which opens Uber, allows us to work out our buying costs. Are you going to be doing this deal with bank loan or with cash?
I'm hoping maybe if it works out to be a good deal to look into angel investors. I can't really get bonds because I'm still studying.
Okay, no worries,
Um,
no worries. So let's just assume you're going to get a loan of
yeah,
1.7 million.
yeah,
Okay, just so that we can work out our numbers and feel confident that we're making the right kind of offer. So our buying
yeah,
costs are going to be around 110,000. I'm just going to include that
yeah.
here, 110,000. Then we go to the third step. Any kind of renovations that you're expecting?
Luckily the house isn't too bad. They've got carpets at the moment, which are fine, but yeah, we might need to get in some furniture and stuff, like the startup cost. I don't know if that counts in refurb as
100%.
well.
So we're probably looking at between 5 to 10,000. So I'm going to say 7,500 per student in terms of getting them the
Yeah,
essentials, the built-in cupboards, the desk, the chairs. You have to give them a certain amount of things. So I'm just going to put that here as
yeah.
37,500. Other costs. Okay, so eviction, zoning, holding costs. Are you seeing any kind of special costs that you might have to include in this?
No, I don't believe so. There's already 3 students staying there at the moment on a month-to-month lease.
Cool. Okay.
So that could also help in terms of holding fees and things.
Cool. Okay. So let's assume we're going to get a 90% loan to value. You're going to get, I'm just going to use the bank loaning here just as an example. But of course, when you're working with an investor, you're probably looking at a slightly higher interest rate. So I'm going to put you at 12% interest
Mm,
rate.
okay.
Okay. Let's go to cash flow. Levies. I'm assuming it's a freestanding house, so there won't be any levies.
Yeah, freestanding house, no levies.
Okay. Rates and taxes.
Rates and taxes are 1.9, so they're quite
1.9.
steep.
That's very, very
Yeah,
high. Okay.
I
Insurance.
know.
We're probably looking at about 300 for that kind of property.
Mm.
Okay, now void costs. What are you thinking? How often is this property going to be vacant?
For students, you're probably looking about 2 months a year.
Which is
What percent was
16%.
it? 20? Yeah,
Okay, management. Are you planning to manage this yourself?
yeah.
Cool. Maintenance. I'm going to put a 5% maintenance charge because, it seems like you'll be managing it yourself. You'll make sure that it's, clean and well looked after.
Mm.
Assuming that the cash flow is sitting here at minus 2,000 Rand.
Okay.
If we go here to our summary tab, it will tell you it's a poor investment. So what I want to do is I want to go
Mm,
here to the scenarios tab, and I want us to look at if we had to change things around, how would this deal work? So rental income.
mm.
If you increase your rental income by 20%, your return then becomes positive. It becomes 6.13%. Is there a possibility to increase the rental?
Definitely, yeah. It's because it's very close to the university, walking distance.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's possible to go up to, say, 5,000, which I think is roughly 20% of 4,000. Sorry, my maths is a bit off now.
No, 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 it's
But it's
okay.
definitely possible, yeah. Especially with if students are allowed to have pets, that's a very big thing.
Yeah,
Students will pay lots of money if they can bring their cat or their little dog with them
got
to
you.
study.
Or we could look at reducing the purchase price. If we reduce the purchase price by 20%, again, we start getting a positive return. Do you think we could go
Mhm.
lower? Would the owner potentially accept a lower price?
I'm not sure. They seem a bit uptight.
Okay, so let's go back to our step one and we say we're going to increase the rental by an extra 6,000, right, to get to 30,000.
Yeah.
Now, if we go back to our cash flow is now sitting at 2,600, which is positive. Let's see what our
Okay.
return is. Our return on investment is sitting at 9.5%. That is where the deal is. That's now a good
Okay.
deal.
Okay.
Remember, we've taken quite a high financing position here where we're paying someone a 12% interest. So it still works on a
Yeah.
12% interest, which is great.
Okay.
You would, though, require to put in about 340,000 Rand of your own money.
Yeah. Which is a lot.
Which, if we go back to our financing costs, we've got here, let's say that you can get another angel investor. I'm just going to call it Sofiso. Maybe Sofiso is willing to loan you 300,000 Rand. Sofiso is a family friend or whatever. And let's say the interest
Mhm.
rate they're willing to pay is 11% over 20 years. So this is their financing costs. Now what's happened is we've loaned more money, which means our
Mm.
financing debt is more expensive. So now we start losing money again on our cash flow.
Okay.
So we go to our
Yeah.
summary tab, and you're only needing to put in 37,000 Rand of your own money, but you're starting to lose
Mm.
money and your return's not very good. So
Yeah,
Simone, I'm kind of feeling like this deal, it might not be exactly what you
not
need right
great.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Lawrence. I really appreciate it. I think I was a bit too emotional with that one as well. I just got excited.
No worries. Look, it's got potential legs, but you need to increase either the rental or decrease the purchase price. If the owner's not willing to accept, I would say 1.5. That's what you need to be going in with. Then it's a fantastic deal. Anything above that,
Yeah.
rather move on to the next one. Because yeah, it's just not worth it.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Cool. Pleasure. Bye. Okay. Next, we've got Uyanda. Are you on, Baba? Let me see. Where is Uyanda? There we go. Okay, Uyanda, I'm going to call you up. Uyanda is a new student of mine. He is a young guy who is really eager about property investing. So I'm very excited to get him on the call. And yeah, just hear what he has to say. Let's see. His deal is in Capital Park, Pretoria, and it's also a buy to let. So we are going to save this deal and we're going to add a new deal. Uyanda, are you there, brother? Okay, it says accepted and connecting. So let's just give him a few seconds. I'm going to go here to add a new deal. Please, just a reminder, if you've got any questions, just pop it into that chat bar, and at the end of the session, I will happily review all of those and answer them. Okay, so we're going to go here again. Now, I do have some information from him. He said that the market price is 1.27. Okay, so I'm going to put that in here, 1.27 million. And he said he's going to try and offer 900,000. Okay, cool. So that would be almost a 30% discount, which is quite aggressive. But also, if you can get a deal at a 30% discount, you are buying equity. You're pretty much buying your profit, and you're securing yourself with a great deal. Sophie's still not connecting. I don't know if potentially the connection's not good enough. Anyway, I'm going to continue. Luckily, he has already sent all the information to me. He told me that the rental will be about 13,000. So let's go here, 13,000 for the rental. Fantastic. Now we go to step 2, buying costs. So again, we're going to open up our Uber calculator. This is a great tool just for working out your buying costs. So the purchase price, as he said, 900,000. I'm assuming he's going to get a 90% loan. Freehold, the seller is not registered for VAT, and buying as a natural person. Calculate your total buying cost will be 46,000, which is great. 46,000. Renovations. Let's see. Did he say that there would be any renovations? So he's put here that there are no renovations required. So I'm going to leave that tab. There are also no special costs required. Let's go to the financing costs. So he has put here that he wants to finance at a 10% interest rate over 15 years. Okay, so I'm going to say 90% loan to value at a 10% interest rate over 15 years. I'm going to keep it as 20 years because, funny enough, it's actually better to sometimes increase the loan period because that reduces your monthly repayments and allows you to get a better cash flow from day one. Okay, then we go to the cash flow tab. Now, let's see what the monthly expenses are going to be. There's a levy of 1,500 and there's a rates and taxes of 550. So I'm going to put your levies 1,500, 550 rates and taxes. Void costs. Now, voids is essentially meaning if there's a vacancy or the property won't be full all year round, so you need to put a provision aside so that you can put some money away for when the property is empty. I'm going to use a 5% provision. Management fee, usually working on about an 8%, and then another 5% in terms of his maintenance. So what you can see here is that this deal does have a positive cash flow from day one. It's making about 637, which is good. We go to the summary tab here, and it is telling us that his return on investment will be a bit below average. It's 5.62, which is it's a bit too low for us. We want to be working on anything above 9 or 10. So again, I'm going to go here to the scenarios tab, and here you're going to see if I had to change elements of the deal, how would that affect my numbers? So rental income. If you can increase the rental income by 10%, your return will shoot up to 14, almost 15%. That's great. So that's an opportunity. If Safisa was on the call, and I'm sure he's struggling just to get on, and he would love to be here, but unfortunately, if he could increase the rental by 10%, then this deal would make sense. So could he potentially maybe add another room, sublet it, get 2 or 3 tenants in place of one, and then increase the rental? Or again, the purchase price. If you can reduce the purchase price by 10%, it's a great return. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to step 1 again, and I'm going to reduce the offer to 800,000. And then I'm going to go to the cash flow. Now the cash flow is sitting at 1,005, and your return on investment, it should be over 10%, I reckon. There we go, 14%. So, Sifiso, I know you're not on the call, but I'm hoping that you are listening. This deal seems to make a lot of financial sense, but you've got to buy it at 800,000. So, yeah, happy with this deal. Send me a WhatsApp, and I'll send you the legal proceedings. You know how to sign an offer to purchase, so that you can at least secure the deal, and then you can move forward to the next one. Fantastic. So unfortunately, man, we couldn't get you online, but that's okay. Let's see who our next person is. Let's see. I'm hoping you are online. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to invite you on screen. And again, it takes a couple of seconds just to get you on. So if you are seeing the invite, just click accept. It takes a couple of seconds, and then as soon as you're on, just give us a shout. So I'm going to start so long. This is a multi-let in Shoshanguve, and I've got here some of the numbers. So let me again go to my deal analysis and start plugging in the numbers. Okay, so I'm going to save this one, and we're going to go back, and it's the same process. You'll see this, I know I'm doing it really quickly, and it's probably because I've done it a couple thousand times, but hopefully every time you're learning something new, and eventually you're going to be using this calculator like you would any other calculator, and it just becomes an easy process for you. Okay, so let me just reprompt. Letzea, are you there? Can you see the invite? Let us know if there's anything we can help you with to get you online, because it's always nicer to hear the person speaking. Okay, so from the information that I've already received from Letzea, she's saying that the market price is 1.2 million. So I'm going to go here, 1.2 million. She's looking at an offer of 1.1, okay, which is an 8% discount. That's quite low. I think that should be quite easy to get across the line. Let's look at the rental. The rental is 23,200. Okay, so that's very high, but remember this is a multi-let, so you've got multiple tenants all paying a smaller amount, which amounts to quite a big amount. So this deal, I can already tell you, is going to make financial sense because the rent is far superior than the offer price. So I'm quite excited about this one. Okay, buying costs, same process. We go to Uber, we put in the amount. She said 1.1 million.
That's fun here.
There we go. Let's say
Hi.
Yes, hi there. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Good. You can hear us. That's fantastic. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this deal?
Yeah, it's a student accommodation actually.
Okay.
Already accredited by the institution.
Yes.
So it's in a township called Soshanguve.
Yeah.
So the asking price got it through the agent. The asking price is 1.2.
Yeah.
And the offer is 1.1.
Is that an offer you've
currently it's the offer that I've already made. Yes.
And have they accepted that offer?
I'm waiting for feedback from the owner. So we actually scheduled to meet tomorrow.
Okay, cool. And you said the refurb, you said here about 50,000 Rand, is that correct?
Yeah, I went to see the property, so just require minor painting. Okay. Just a minor work, just to paint the property. Yeah.
Okay.
So each student, it currently, let me just tell you the structure of the house. It's got what you call the bedrooms. So it's got 8 bedrooms,
yeah,
and which are currently let to the institution. Okay. And each room is 2,900, so it's 24,000. Currently, it also has a main house, which the family or the seller is using it.
Yeah.
So it's got about four bedrooms. So once I buy that, so there are additional four bedrooms to that. So which you can make it available to the institution.
Sure. Okay, so the deal you're talking about now, the offer you've made is just on the house and the rooms in the back. That's not including the additional rooms.
It includes the additional rooms as well.
Okay, and that's how
it's the whole yard.
Is that how you're getting the 23,200 rent?
The current rental as it is for the outside rooms is 23,000.
Okay, and then in terms of financing, are you expecting to loan from the bank, eh?
Yes, I am.
100% loan.
100% loan,
Okay, at
unless you come to the
11%.
party.
Okay, you are going to have a challenge with that, especially if it's registered as student accommodation, because the banks don't like loaning on commercial properties. Um, unless, well, you'll probably have quite a high interest rate. You'll probably have something like a 13% interest rate over a 15-year period.
Yeah, that will still work.
Yeah, it'll still work. I think, yeah, this deal does seem to make enough sense. But just so that you're aware, when you do approach the bank, they might resist and they might say no. Then you must apply for a business for a commercial loan, or send me an email. I'm just going to pop my details here again, and I can introduce you to a company that specializes in financing student accommodation. So
All right, now I'll do that.
the bank is always your best choice because the bank gives you the best interest rate. But if you are struggling to raise finance, give me a call. I can help you raise the finance. Okay, let's go to cash flow.
All right.
Levies. The levies will be zero, huh?
11 is 0, yes.
So the levies are always zero when you're looking at a freehold property. When you're looking at a property that's standing on its own, there are no levies. What about rates and taxes?
Yes. The rate and taxes, it's estimated to about 450 rands.
450 insurance. Let's put like 300 rand of insurance. Now the vacancy. Are you expecting the property to be empty this year or next
Yeah.
year?
This year it will just be between December and Jan. So
Okay.
just for 2 months.
Okay, so we're going to use 16% again. 16% works out to 2 months because the students don't usually rent December and January, so you're not getting rental during those 2 months. So you have to save some money to make sure you've got your expenses covered. Management, are you going to manage this yourself or have someone manage it?
I'll manage it myself.
Cool, so we can put a zero there. Maintenance, do you want to put some money aside to, when you have to do a repaint or whatever, you can take it out of that budget?
Yeah, estimated to about 5% of the
5%.
of the total rental collected.
Cool. And then in terms of water and electricity, that 23,000 Rand that you're getting, does that include their water and electricity, or do you charge an additional amount to them?
That includes water and electricity.
Okay, so we're going to go, and how many students is it in total?
It's currently 8 students.
Okay, so I usually use a figure of about 350 per month per student for water and electricity. So we times that by 8, we get 2,800. So I'm going to put that here under other because that is then the cost to us. We have to pay now their
Yes.
electricity and water. So your cash flow on this deal is 3,423, which if we go to the summary tab, it should be a great investment, man. Let's have a look here. Oi, here we go. 39.13%. The money you need to put in is 105,000. The rest will be financed by the bank, and you're getting a 39% return. I think this is a fantastic deal, man.
Yes, yeah, it looked good, very good.
Do you have any questions or concerns about it?
No, not really, because the what I actually saw it as it is, the current rooms, the outside rooms,
Yeah.
should cover the all the cost. And if you take into account the fact that I'm not going to stay at that house, in that house, so the main house, which I would call that, it
Yeah.
has about 4 rooms, which I can still make it available to the students. So
Fantastic.
which is about 2,900 as well.
Awesome. I'm just quickly generating a proposal. This is what also the app can do, 100% LTV. And I'm going to send it to the financer because I want to be able to show them this deal. So with a couple of clicks
Okay.
of a button, you can actually generate a professionally designed investor proposal, which you can then send to banks and to investors. Because I think, let's say, I think this is actually a really good deal. I think this one's got an opportunity to work.
No, it is. It is.
So here's the proposal document. As you can see, it just took a couple of seconds. It's now generated professional design, and it's got here the basic high-level numbers. So if you get stuck with the investor, with the bank, let's say just give me an email, and then I'll put you in contact with my financing guy to hopefully help you raise the financing.
I'll definitely do that.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Good to have you on the
Oh,
call.
thanks. Oh, thanks a lot.
Okay, cheers. Awesome.
Hello. Hello. Hello, I don't know what to do.
Hello. Can you guys hear me now?
Hello.
Hi, Nyameka.
Hi.
Yes, good to have you on the call. Sorry, my sound seemed to just go off there for a second. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you? Sorry, I joined you guys late. It was a
N-
network problem.
No worries, no worries. I see here that you've got a deal for us in Northgate. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, it's a property in Northgate,
Yeah,
next to the Dome in Johannesburg.
cool.
So the agent was selling it for 650,000 rands,
Yeah,
and I tried to negotiate down,
yeah.
and he said that no, the owner is not prepared to actually go down.
Okay.
So it's 650,000, and fortunately there is a tenant
Yeah.
and that's ready to rent the property.
Okay,
So the
got you.
transfer fees are 23,200,
Okay,
and the
20.
rental income is 6,500.
Yeah. Any refurb costs that
And
you're expecting?
the costs,
For the renovation, yeah, to fix the property up.
apparently what they said they would do, they would use the rental money, the deposit that was paid
Yeah.
by the outgoing tenant, and
Yeah.
actually use it to clean up and to do stuff, and then the new tenant will just come in and stay. So I don't
Cool.
have to renovate. Yeah.
Fantastic. And then in terms of financing, are you looking at a bank loan?
I was wondering, and I wanted to get some advice from you if I should get a bank loan or I should just use my own capital. What is the best thing to do?
Awesome. Well, you know what we're going to do? We are going to analyze both options. So let's analyze it first with you using cash, and then let's bring the bank's money into it, and we'll see which one makes more sense.
Okay, I would love that.
Okay. So I see here you put levies of 1,625. Is that correct?
Um, the levies are 969.
Okay. So your levies are 969. The rates and taxes.
The rate and tax it's 200 rand.
200. Okay. Vacancies. Is the property probably going to be empty maybe for 2 weeks or a month of the year? Is that fair to say?
Okay, probably yes.
Yeah, because tenants they'll leave and then it takes a month to replace the tenant or whatever it is. So let's say 4%. We're going to put 4% of the income we receive into a savings account for when the tenant does leave and we need to find a new one, or we've got a month where there is no rental. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Are you going to manage this yourself, or do you want to pay someone to manage it?
I think it's better to pay somebody to manage it, and the property agency
100%.
charges about 255
255.
for 55 years.
Okay, so I'm just going to put in here 255. Okay, and then maintenance, let's put 5% aside just for, again, when you need to
Yes.
fix the property. Okay, so we're going to go here to the summary tab, and we're going to see what the app tells us. So
Mm-hmm.
currently, assuming these numbers are correct, you'll get an 8% return on your money.
Okay.
So if you're at the bank and you're getting maybe, I don't know, maybe you're getting 6 or 7% interest on your money, here you're only getting
Mm-hmm.
8%. I'm not so sure that that's worth the risk
Oh, okay. To do what? To use my money.
to use your own money. So now let's go back to financing costs, and let's say you're going to get an 80% loan from the bank at a 10% interest.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, wait, that's not going to do. Let's say over a 30-year loan. Let's say a 30-year loan. Now your cash flow is negative. No, unfortunately, this deal won't work with financing. You'll have to do it with your own money,
Mm-hmm.
unless you go for like a low amount. You go for a 60% loan, Then your cash flow. No, unfortunately, this deal requires you to do it cash. You're 100% right, Nyameka. The best way to do this deal is with cash.
Okay.
The thing is, you're only getting an 8% return, so I just don't know if that's really worth it.
It's too low.
Yeah, because I think, if the tenant doesn't pay for a month, if you've got a vacancy of 1 month, you're going to start losing money.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I would say here that, potentially let's reduce your offer to 600,000, which is just a 7% discount. That's not a lot that you're asking for. If we go to the summary,
Yeah.
it gets us to 8.65% return, which is still not great.
It should be at least what, 11% and above.
Yeah, I would say anything above 10% for me is something I'm comfortable
Above
with.
10%.
I just feel like you can get that kind of return from the bank. You can get almost an 8% from, I think it's Capitec or African Bank. They've got some really good fixed deposit accounts where you can get higher returns than this, and you've got no risk in that.
Yeah, I understand.
And yeah, if we compare it to let's say as a deal where he's getting a 39% return, I'd rather you two partner together. Why don't you guys connect after this webinar and you maybe loan him money at a certain interest rate so that he can do that deal, and that deal is going to be a lot more prosperous than this one.
Sorry, who is that? I joined you guys late.
Let me just see here. I will send you his name. It is, where is it? Let's is he offline now? Let me just see.
What was his ROI?
His ROI was 39%.
That's all.
Yeah, so he was getting a really, really good return on investment. I'm not seeing him here. Khapolo, will you just make a note for us to send an email to Letsaya and to introduce him and Nyameka together so that they can, he can send them the proposal and potentially, work together. I can
Is it a
actually.
flip or a,
It's a student
what is the
accommodation.
strategy? Student accommodation for rental.
Yeah, for rental. Let me actually, I'm
Oh,
going to open up the proposal document that I created for him quickly, so that you can just see the high level numbers of the deal. It seems on paper to make a lot of sense. Obviously, he needs to do some due diligence, but here you can see the high level numbers. So here is the rental income of 23,000. And then it goes down with expenses. His monthly cash flow will be 3,500, and the return on investment is 39%. So I think you could maybe get into a partnership with him, maybe register a business where you put your money into this deal and you take half of the profits. It's going to be a much better return on investment than what you're currently getting.
yeah, I understand. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, thanks. I'll hear
From
Khopolo
Khopolo.
then.
Yeah, Khopolo
Yeah.
will make an introduction for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Cheers.
Bye. Okay, let's see where we are. Now we've got Daryl. Let's quickly bring Daryl online. Daryl's got quite an interesting deal. Let me just see here. I'm pretty sure I saw Daryl. There we go. Daryl Norman. Okay, so Daryl. Hey, what's going on here? Invite onto screen. Yes. Excuse me. Okay, so Daryl has got a student accommodation deal. It seems like quite a big deal. It doesn't work as it currently is, but there is a way in which he can make this deal work when he changes the strategy slightly. So I'm really hoping that he can join us on the call today, because I'd love for him to explain his thinking, and hopefully we can all learn from him on how he's making this deal work. So I can see he's accepted and he's connecting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run the deal analysis so long, and then when he joins, we can obviously hear what he has to say. Daryl, when you do come online, just give us a shout. Okay, so I'm going back here to our deal analysis. I'm going to add a new deal, and we're going to follow the same process that we did. So the deal here is an asking price of 3.7 million, and again, there's no discount here, so I'm assuming that the Owner is not willing to budge. The monthly rental on this deal is 36,700. Okay. Now we go to step 2, which is our buying costs. Okay, and our buying costs, same process. We go to Uber, put in our purchase price here of 3.7 million, and then we're going to go to a loan amount of 3.5 million. Okay, it's a freehold, not registered for VAT, and a natural person. Okay, so the buying costs here will be 330,000 Rand. Okay. Renovations, let's see. There's no renovations required here, which is great. So there we go. Daryl.
Yes, hi, Lawrence.
Yes, how you doing, man?
I'm well, thanks. Yourself?
Good, good. Tell us a little bit
Good.
about this deal.
Yeah, I got it from a estate agent friend of mine. It's a multi-let at the moment.
Okay.
And then a potential student accommodation because it's, like I sent you the information, it's about 950 meters from the university in Kimberley.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 2 3-bedrooms, two 2-bedrooms, and 2 1-bedroom flats.
Okay. So let's
That's got a
start here.
potential to be converted into student accommodation.
Yes. So what I want to do, Daryl, is I want to let's analyze the deal as a multi-let, and then
Yeah,
we'll
as
look
it
at
as
it
it
as a
is at
student
the moment.
accommodation. Yes, yes, and then we'll look at it as a student accommodation. Okay, so what kind of financing are you looking for here? About 80%.
Yeah, I was to be honest, I was looking at selling this deal on to an investor.
Okay, okay, cool. Let's work out the numbers, and if we can determine that this is a good deal, we can look at maybe sourcing it on to an investor. Okay, levies. What are the levies on a monthly basis?
I think it was the rates and taxes about what, 6,000 something, 6,600 or something.
6,632. Insurance, let's put in your 500. Void cost, I'm going to work on 16%. No. Actually, if it's a multi-let, I'm going to work on 10% because they're not students, so they tend to stay for a bit longer.
Yeah.
Let's say 10%, I'm going to say 8% management, and another 10% for maintenance. Okay, so you can
Lawrence,
see here. Yeah.
The bottom floor has got a business or commercial property that they're renting out as a business space.
Okay.
The ground floor.
How much are they getting there?
10,800 at the moment.
Okay, so I must take the 36,700 plus 10,800. Okay, so that is 47,500. That is the rental as is. Okay, so your cash flow is still sitting here at minus 3,000, which means you're obviously losing money. But you knew that, right? You knew that in its current condition it doesn't work.
As it is now, it won't work.
Okay, so tell us now, you're going to change it to student accommodation, is that correct?
Yeah, that's. I think that's the best. It's got the huge potential to change it into student accommodation.
Okay,
the owner is also willing to negotiate on the 3.7.
Okay, what are they willing to accept?
Haven't got to that detail yet, but I was looking at a 20% discount on this thing.
Okay, I like that. I'm always about the 20% discount, so let's work it out on 2.9. Okay, there we go. And what would the new rental be if you got it into student accommodation?
We were looking at if it's viable to at least about 36 students in there.
Okay,
at 3,000 Rand.
3,000, yeah. Okay, got you. Wait,
per student.
36 times 3,000. Okay, 108,000 Rand rent. That sounds a little bit more exciting. Now the refurb is going to be the trick.
Yeah, the refurb, we will look, the one flat that we got into was a bit messed up. It was very dirty.
Yeah.
The others we couldn't get into, but the one that we could see through the window, it was very neat. So that was the two opposites of the spectrum. You know,
okay, what is what's your gut telling you in terms of renovations?
We were looking at about just the flats alone at about 100, 150,000.
Per flat.
No. For all of them.
Okay. Sure, I definitely think you need to get a builder there to do an
Yeah.
estimation, because have you done a renovation before?
No.
Because from my experience, I obviously haven't seen the deal or what the condition is, but usually when you're trying to do student accommodation, you're converting a house into a student accommodation, you're probably looking at 30 to 50,000 rand per student.
Okay.
So I worked out here, I mean, my renovation estimate, and it could be very wrong, I worked out on where was it? 1.4 million, I think. Yeah,
Renovation
1.2.
cost.
So I said I'm budgeting 35,000 rand per student to renovate the
Okay.
house, to put built-in cupboards, to put in desks and chairs and all of that stuff.
Okay.
So look, I mean, you'll obviously need to get a builder's professional advice, but let's just work on 1.3 million. I think this deal still will make a lot of sense even with that.
Yeah, there's at the back of the flats, right? Also on the ground floor,
Yeah.
there's a huge hall that's also got the potential to be converted in either a study area, designated study area,
Yeah.
or into more flats, more student
Okay.
more rooms.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, look, I mean, the potential is there. Hey, Daryl, you see, you're making here 46,000 rand cash flow. Your return's going to be fantastic. Your return is
Yeah,
25%.
that's
That's
what
a
we worked it
no-brainer.
out on about.
Yeah, no, it's a no-brainer. What you can now do is go here to the buying cost tabs, and here we've got a section called sourcing fee. Here's where you can put a fee that you want to sell this deal for. So how much do you think you
Okay.
want to get for this deal if you sell it to an investor?
That's the thing that I'm not so sure about, Lawrence.
I think if your
If
numbers
you
are
can assist
correct,
me, I'll appreciate that a lot.
yeah, if your numbers are correct and you can get a 25% ROI, I would say 150,000 rand
As a sourcing fee.
as a sourcing fee, because then your return is still 23.5%. I mean, no one's getting that. You can't promise that to anybody. No bank is giving 24% returns.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've got a strong proposition there where you can sell this deal to an investor wanting that kind of return.
Okay, great stuff. That sounds
So
amazing.
the thing you got to do for me is, one, you've got to download a TPN report. So
Okay.
tpn.co.za. That's
TPN.
going to tpn.co.za.
Okay.
That's going to give you a lot of information regarding what the rentals are in the area.
Okay.
Number two, you need to get a builder into that property to go and do a proper spec. They need to see every
Yes,
room.
yes.
You've got to get confidence on that. And once you know what the rent is and once you know what the renovation is, plug the numbers back into this calculator, and anything above 20% return, you're smiling. That's a good place to be.
And if the owner is willing to take the 20% discount, give that.
Yes. Also, you need to get a discount.
Okay. I'll sort that out with him. Maybe speak to them tomorrow.
Yeah, awesome. You're welcome to send me an email or get in contact if you need. Deal makes a lot of sense. I would say as long as you can just double check those numbers and make sure you're confident with them, I would say do this deal.
Lawrence, thank you very much. Is it possible for me to speak to you via email then on this thing?
Yeah. Send me an email and I can help you out. Obviously, if you start taking a lot of my time, then we might have to get into a coaching situation where I become your coach.
I hear
But I'm
you.
always happy to help people out as and when I can.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I see that we are running a bit low on time. Let's see here. Is Colleen on the call? Let me just see here if Colleen is on the call. Colleen, let's quickly get you on because I know you've been wanting to analyze this flip deal for a while. then we'll end with Lorna, and we'll be done hopefully in the next 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. Yep. Okay. Okay, let me go here to the buy to flip calculator. Okay, add a new deal. All right, while we're waiting for Colleen to jump online, I'm going to quickly run the deal for myself. Okay, so the buy to flip calculator is slightly different to the buy to rent because this is obviously where you're buying at a discount, you're renovating, and then you're selling for profit. So the asking price on this deal is 1050. Okay, and the offer price is 980, so she's asking for a 6-7% return discount, which is fine. And your rental is going to be about 10. Hi, Colleen.
Hello there, Lauren.
Yes, how's it going?
Well, in you.
Good, thanks. Please tell us about this deal.
Okay, so this is a very derelict property. It's a house with 5 bedrooms. So basically the bedrooms are not standard with the house. It was like little add-ons onto the
Yeah,
house.
yeah,
So that's with 2 bathrooms,
okay,
2 lounges, 2 garages, and it's 991 square meters.
okay.
Yeah.
What do you think you can resell this property for? Let's say that you had to renovate it and make it look nice. What's the market, what's the going market rate there?
The market value for that area is 1.5 plus.
Okay, let's work on 1.5, and you've put an offer forward, or you're looking at an offer of about 980, is that correct?
So their asking price is 980, and we were looking at offering them anything from 895 to 950 because they were given an offer of 950 which they rejected, but
Yeah.
that place is totally a dump.
Okay, let's work on 925. Let's see if the
Okay.
numbers make sense there. Okay, so step one is what's the market price, which you said is 1.5, offer price of
That,
920. Transfer costs, do you have those, or should I quickly calculate them?
the transfer costs, my laptop died on me now, so I've
That's
just
all
got
right,
it
I can quickly do it
here.
here. So you're going to buy at 925. You're going to get a loan, obviously, hey?
Yeah, so we were looking at maybe 80%.
Okay, so I'm going to say then 750. Okay, let's just see here. This is a rough estimate of 50,000. Let's say it's 50,000 Rand for your costs. Renovations, I'm assuming there's quite a lot of renovation costs that you have to put in.
That's correct. So with the renovation costs, we were looking at around about 220, somewhere there.
Okay, cool. That sounds like a good number. I like that. Financing, we said 80% from the banks at a 10% interest rate. Is that fair?
That's right.
Okay, so now the trick with flipping is you're going to hold this property for an unknown period of time.
Yeah, we were working on about 3 months.
3 months to buy,
So,
renovate, and sell.
yeah,
So here's where I'll probably need to challenge you a little bit because the
okay.
normal buying process or the normal selling process is usually 3 to 4 months.
Yes,
So just to sell the property is probably going to take you 4 months, and then on top of that, you're going to have to budget some time for renovations.
yeah.
So I would say based on a 220,000 Rand renovation budget, you're probably looking at a minimum of a 3-month renovation time.
Yeah. So actually change that refurb budget to
Yeah.
300,000. Yeah.
Okay, let's change that to 300,000. I'm going to work on a holding period of 8 months. I'd rather be conservative because
Okay.
you want to make sure you're going to make money, right? If you
Yeah.
sell within 5 months, that's awesome. You've made an additional 3 months worth of profits.
That's right.
Because during these 8 months, you're going to have to pay insurance, levies, rates and taxes, all of these holding costs that could eat into your profits.
Okay. But no levies, eh? Only rates and taxes.
Taxes. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, my connection broke there. So your monthly holding cost is about 8,000. So that's 300 for insurance, 650 for rates and taxes, and then you've got 7,000 in terms of financing costs. So every month for the next 8 months, you're going to have to pay 8,000 Rand into this deal, which totals about 65,000. Okay, let's say you're going to pay an estate agent 5% of the resale value. Oh, that's why I'm getting confused. Sorry. 1.5 million. I made a mistake here. Sorry about that. So your estate agent's probably going to charge you about 86,000, and then your legal costs, COC will probably cost you about 2,200. Okay, let's see if this deal will make sense. So your return on investment is sitting at 10.47. Profit you're going to make is about 71,000.
Okay, so 71,000.
Yeah, so asking price of 1.1, you're buying it at 925, so you're getting a nice 15% discount. Your resale value is 1.5. The total cost of this deal, which is your renovation, your purchase price, everything, is sitting at 1.4. You'll have to come up with about 685,000 Rand of your own money or use an investor's money, and then your capital profit will be 71,000.
All right.
Is that good, or are you unhappy with that?
Well, seeing that it's our first flip, so that return on investment sounds decent enough, and especially if we're going to be getting, funding from an angel investor as well. So just dependent there.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be a good deal? When an investor is then investing in this deal.
I think you could get an investor on this deal, but you need to do two things for me, Colleen. The first one is you have to download a Lightstone report, and you have to determine what the accurate resale value is for this property.
Okay.
Because you said it's 1.5 plus. I mean, if it's sitting at if you can sell this property for 1.8 million, we're having a very different discussion. You can get an investor tomorrow because the deal makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
So we need clarity on this number, and then number two, we need clarity on your renovation number. You need to get a builder in to do an accurate or detailed quote to determine exactly what the renovation costs are. Once we understand what those two figures are, I can give you a bit more confidence and say your offer of 925 is a good deal. You should go for it.
Okay.
Because it's an okay deal. You're getting a 10% return. It's not bad. It's not great. The sourcing fee that you could probably charge on this deal would maybe be about 20,000 Rand if you wanted to sell it to an investor. If you want to do it yourself, you can walk away with about 70,000 Rand profit.
Okay. Yeah, because even the actual offer price, I'm sure we can even drop it lower than that 925.
Yeah, fantastic. If you can get this to about 850, then we're talking about a good deal. If we go at 850, go to the summary tab. Now we're starting to look. Here we go, 22%. There. Now I'm happy. Because now you've warranted the risk of doing this deal. Now you can take your money out of the bank because you're making a good reward.
Okay.
So I can tell you now, 850 is a great. If you can get it at 850, you've got a great deal. Just double check the renovation cost. You don't want it to be over 300,000, but assuming it's under 300,000, I would say go ahead with this deal.
Okay. And then the percentage of the investor?
Okay, so now we need to bring the investor in, right? So you're going to get, I'm just going to call it Joe. How much are you expecting from Joe? How much do you need?
So we maybe need around about, what do you think? Do you think 400,000 is a fair amount or less than that?
Yeah, I think that's fine. He's probably going to charge you about a 12% interest rate. And he's going to probably do it over a year. And you can maybe arrange with him to say, I'm not going to pay you anything now, but at the end of the term, I'll pay you everything.
Okay.
He might accept that, he might not. Let's see if the return is still decent. Nah, you're losing money now.
Okay.
So let's see if we go monthly interest and monthly. Let's see if that changes it slightly. Oh. Yeah, see this deal. I don't think it has enough fat for an expensive investor. Let's just see monthly interest.
Okay.
Let's see here. So I'm trying to fiddle with it now to see if we can't make this deal work. But, see, at best case, if you bring an investor on board, you're going to still lose 46,000 because the investor charges too much in terms of interest, which is going to kill your deal.
Okay.
Do you have any capital available yourself?
No, hey.
Okay. Okay, well,
So
what you need to do for me, Colleen,
everything
is...
that we do will have to be via the bank.
Yeah, I think go get that Lightstone report and get your builder to confirm the renovation, and then send the numbers to me. I'll do an analysis and I'll see if I can't maybe get another investor to come and partner with you, who will bring the capital, and you guys can split the profits then 50-50.
Okay.
I think that's going to be the best. Okay.
All right. All right, then we'll do that.
Cool. Thanks, Colleen.
Thanks
Cheers.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, next we've got, and our last person is Lorna. I'm hoping that she's on still. Sorry that I'm dragging this out a bit, guys. I'm trying to get through this as quick as possible. Let's just see if Lorna is here. I'm not seeing her. If she's not on, I am going to rather cut this a bit short. Let me just see it one more time. I'm not seeing Lorna on the call. So what I am going to do is I'm rather just going to close off the session. Because I do understand that we're running a bit late. I just want to remind you, as always, we do have a special running today. You get 6 months access to this app for a great discount, which is a 40% discount using the coupon of 40 CC 40%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an email to everybody on this call after this webinar, and then all you need to do is pay an EFT to our banking account with the reference of CC 40%, and within a couple of hours we'll send you a registration link so that you can get onto the app and use it as much as you want. The app obviously has the buy-to-let and buy-to-flip calculators, but it's also got an artificial intelligence calculator, and it's got a whole host of training and tutorial videos. Every video that I record and every webinar that I do gets posted on the app. So not only do you get the analysis of the tools and confidence in analyzing a deal, but you also get a whole bunch of training material to get you started as an investor. Here is the last slide. If you've got any questions or some of the useful links, support at myapp.property. If you have any challenge with the app, with registering, or with any of the tools and it doesn't make sense, please contact support at myapp. That's the link to our website. We also have got a fantastic blog.mypropertyapp.online, where we add content on a weekly basis. And then if you are interested in getting an investment opportunity or getting coached by myself, please email me directly on lawrence@housebuyers.coza. I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes answering any questions that there might be. Otherwise, I don't think there are any questions, actually. I will just check my WhatsApp quickly to see if Khopolo has sent me anything regarding a question, but I don't think there are any questions. Let's see here. Okay, one question. How do I get my video big screener? Okay, and Daryl, I lost my sound. So those aren't questions for analysis. That's more using the system. I don't see any questions here. So, guys, if I have missed a question, I'm sorry about that. Please email me directly at lawrence@housebuyers.coza. We have, we've run a little bit over, and I'd rather get you home so that you can go to your families, have dinner, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for being on another very exciting call with us. It's always a pleasure for us to host these. We will be doing this again in 2 weeks' time, doing as much live deal analysis as possible and helping people along their investment journey. If you have any friends or colleagues or people who might find this interesting, please let them know, send them the invitation. And also, lastly, just one more punt at my book. If you do have the time and the interest, please go and get a copy of my book. It does explain my methodology and philosophy on investing, and it does give you a step-by-step guide into becoming a property investor. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Andre, Jeff, Simone, Leon, Yanni, all of the speakers and people that put their names out there and actually got onto the call to share their deals with us. Thank you so much. And if you do have another deal that you'd like us to analyze next in the next 2 weeks, please email support@mypropertyapp, and we'll make sure that it's on the next webinar. Otherwise, until next time, happy investing. Thanks so much.